Hey everybody, thanks for trying this. Welcome to Direct Station. I'm Kate Carey, your guide to the place where politics and planets collide and converge. This is the first episode. You'll notice that there's a lot of messy editing. I'm just learning how to do this. But thanks for coming with me. Thanks for trying. And after you listen, if you're interested and you want to have a conversation, we could try a reading together. My specialty in readings is helping you sort out what is your assignment. What is it that you're supposed to be doing at this time and in this place? So have a listen. Let me know what you think. I'm looking forward to starting the conversation. Welcome to Direct Station. Each episode will bring you insights on current events with a cosmic perspective. I know I may lose some of you with that last sentence, especially the way it ends. But listen, if you believe the moon affects the Earth's tides, it means that there is the smallest part of you that is open to the possibility that what happens in the sky interacts with what happens on Earth. The ancients were watching the sky long before doing so was labeled goofy or out there or fringe. In fact, it was only the elites who were able to have access to what was written there for a long, long time. Today, astrology is democratized and rather bastardized. We've all read shitty horoscopes that have nothing to do with our lives or how we understand them. Don't hate the game. I'm not saying hate the player, but don't hate the game. I wouldn't bring this convergence to you if I didn't think it was relevant to you as you navigate what is happening to all of us. I assure you the sky and the earth are speaking to each other, and as bits of matter, we are part of that conversation. So I'm going to throw some big ideas, some sort of commonly held understandings from planet astrology, and bring them to the real world to interact with what you probably already know quite a bit about, which is what's happening around us and to us in our day-to-day existence, in our bodies. So, a little bit about me very quickly. I'm a proud mama of two incredible young women. I am a professional who's led big and impactful work. I'm a bit of a hippie, a lot of an introvert who's far more comfortable on a conference stage than at a dinner party. I love hard work. I love hard. I'm tougher on myself than anyone else, and I'm learning how to live in grace in this world that asks me to choose sides and hate my neighbor. One of the amazing things about this moment that calls me into this conversation with you is how transient and mobile our votes have been, our alliances internally in the US have been over the course of the last decade. We hop around because the lines keep moving. The lines keep moving because the parties are shifting on policies. The lines keep moving because what it means to be a compelling leader is changing fast. The lines are moving because our information consumption is in bits all over the interwebs. The lines are moving because COVID turned everything we thought was true on its head. The lines are moving because even dishonest people use grains of truth. The lines are moving because we have deep and real and appropriate insecurities about our personal safety, the safety and prosperity of our families. The lines are moving because we don't sleep as well, or visit as well, or participate as well, or show up for our lives as well. When the enticing and entrapping cocktail of humor, vitriol, aspirational modeling of lives we imagine for ourselves, the people like me satisfaction of a voice that resonates, the beauty, the belief system validating, the religious or spiritual reminding, all in our machines. We lose time in there, like those soft and unaware adults in Wall-E. So the lines move easily when something in our cocktail says it right, or says it passionately, or says it convincingly, or says it with shame and provocation. We keep deciding anew which side we're on in enormous fucking numbers. This isn't about who you voted for or which labels you wear. Those choices brought us here, sure. But here we are in this moment together, living through it. This is a show about being human at a time when literally everything is changing. The ground is moving beneath our feet. We all know this. This is about finding our individual truths while witnessing and probably causing collective change. It's about turning our wounds into wisdom, our fears and paralysis into action. So, whether you are a political junkie or cosmically curious, whether you follow polls or planetary movements or both, you're welcome here at Direct Station. We're creating space for all of it. The political and the personal, the mundane and the mystical. It might matter to you. Our one rule here is do no harm, be kind to me, be kind to each other. We're working with alternative sets of facts, which is so hard to wrap our minds around, but it's true. People assert crazy shit at us all day long. I am a news junkie. I get my news from a variety of sources that I trust. I know we all do. What I offer is some quick analysis on what's undisputed, what it means, and possibly something bigger than us that helps us to explain why it's happening. Astrology isn't something to believe in. It's something to attend to or ignore. And I'm here to make an argument that it's super fucking relevant to regular people who don't care so much what their rising sign might be. Mine is Virgo, if that's not already completely obvious to those of you who care. I'm also going to get into the politics in a few minutes. I think part of my role here might be to be more of a news junkie than you might be, and to be able to like briefly explain some of what's happening in the world. But first, let me frame the moment in the sky, because it is wild. There is shit happening in our skies right now and in the coming weeks, months, and years that have never happened before. I know that seems hyperbolic, and it seems like something someone who cares about such things would say, but it really is wildly true in a unique and profound way that if you're ignoring it, you do at your own, at the very least, emotional peril. Every astrologer I know of has been waiting and wondering about this time for the duration of their careers. It is being equated to the French Revolution, the American Civil War, the fucking Reformation, the emergence of the printing press, or the cotton gin. Like all of us. Oh, this is like all at once, or at least in a series of events. You understand? So like we're already seeing things happen that have simply never happened before. That's going to continue. Will it rhyme with history? Sure. But the phrase that I hear most often in astrological circles is humanity will be changed forever. Those of you who live in planet regular, away from such conversations, are like, yeah, no shit. But I'm telling you, there are reasons for it that are painted in the sky. So today is February 23rd, 2025. I'm recording this just past noon in New York City. At 9 o'clock Eastern tonight, the first sort of theme of the moment is making a move. And that's why I launched today, and it's why I'm calling it what I'm calling it. Mars, the god of war, the planet of causing things, of acting, of fighting, of doing, is stationing direct, which means it stopped going backwards. It's been in retrograde, a word I'm sure you've heard related to Mercury. If you're alive right now, people talk about Mercury and retrograde all the time. To us on Earth, when we look at a retrograding planet, when the ancients or the hikers or the midnight beach watchers look at a planet in retrograde, it looks like it's going backwards. It's not. You know how when you're on a train next to another train going backward at a different speed and it suddenly seems like the train next to you is going backwards? This is like that. So the backwards feeling is what we've all been living with Mars. You know how nobody has known what to do? How everybody's been like, wait, is that legal? How everybody's been like, wait, who will lead? Whose voice will clarify what is happening? And nobody's really rising until the last week or so. Well, that's Mars in retrograde. Everybody's been like, what am I supposed to do? The causing planet was asking us to think and stew for a bit. And today it is stationed direct. It's going to stay roughly where it is through the first week of March, but it is officially on the move. This is an exciting and important moment to act. So this is me acting and joining with all of you to notice what we've learned that we didn't know, to understand what it is we're supposed to do now with all that's unfolded and all that you've been through individually and all that we've been through collectively. The what now of it all has arrived. Let's look at what's unfolding in this moment of profound transition. First things first, of course, is, I mean, really, you could start anywhere, let's be honest. But I'll start with Donald Trump forming an alliance with Russia. So Trump chose this week to reveal a plan many of us anticipated and feared. Few of us imagined the naked totality of disregard for Ukraine and all that it's been through, from kidnapped children to maimed soldiers to lost homes, lost villages, lost lives. And the thing that keeps me awake at night personally, the systemic torture and rape and assassination of civilians and prisoners of war. So, in spite of that, this week, this president undid 75 years of alliance and common purpose with the rest of the free world and began using Russian propaganda as talking points. We say free world because before many of us were born, there was a battle between totalitarianism, a system of violent control, versus democracy, an imperfect and evolving system of free will and the rule of law. Being rather attached to the latter, many of us stared open-mouthed this week at our screens or our papers and absorbed this change. This, believe it or not, can be explained by the sky. So, as I said, Mars is station direct, meaning it stopped moving backwards. But while it was moving backwards, it was undoing, unraveling, rewinding, all that so many in the free world have fought and died for. And the whole Mars thing is happening in Cancer. So you recognize the word Cancer, of course. Cancer is a word that means disease, but it is also the name for a part of the sky. The sky is divided into sections. You may recognize the Cancer section because you or someone you know is, quote, a Cancer, and looks to the Cancer section of a horoscope part of the newspaper with skepticism or curiosity, right? Okay, so each section of the sky represents aspects of human life, and the Cancer part tends to mean that stuff about home or homeland will be affected. And so, I mean, many other things Cancer represents, but that's some big stuff in there. And so, Mars, the god of war, rethinking stuff he's caused in the past, goes backwards into the part of the sky related to homeland. See? It's cool, right? Also related is that Neptune, the planet of illusion, of depth, think King Triton, god of the sea, of the depths, but also the revelation of truth, right? Like eventually the Little Mermaid's dad figures that out, right? Well, the truth was revealed to us in big, bold, uncertain ways, just as this planet Neptune finished a cycle. He's at the last degree of Pisces, the part of the sky he's been wandering, which means he's finishing something. The Pisces part of the sky affects emotions or emotional vulnerability for the collective. So he's finishing the time when this alliance was clear and clean. He's finishing the time when we thought we could count on what would stay where it was. The shit works in cycles too, because it started when Neptune entered the part of the sky that it's in now in 2017. So with this, we started to see this thing unfold and be revealed in 2017. And now at the end of that cycle, it's converging with the North Node, which is a long story, but for now, I'll say it's converging with the path forward. So look, North Node, fate, Neptune, illusion and truth. At the end, culmination of Pisces, collective vulnerability. Add that to Mars, war and action, going backwards through homeland territory. Tell me this shit doesn't blow your mind. There's more, but I'll leave it there. The hope is this, though, is that Mars is station direct, so it's time for new action. We have the truth from Neptune, and fate invites us forward. What will we do? So now you've got the second bit of news I want to talk about, which is Charles Q. Brown, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in the United States military, the highest ranking position in the military. A black man was fired this week because he is black and because he discussed that online the summer that George Floyd was murdered in the streets of Minneapolis. He made a lovely recording. I just rewatched it this morning, and it's beautiful. It's profound. It's simple. It doesn't accuse anybody of anything. It testifies to the experience of being a very powerful military leader who happens to be black. It testifies to being a father, to being a witness. to being alive in a black body in the United States. He causes no harm in the video. He creates no conflict in the video. And yet, this president fired him because of a long-standing grudge that apparently he had about this man in this video from several years ago. So the only black member, the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the leader of it, was fired this week. So what meaning do we make of that? So the South Node is the opposite of the North Node. So the North Node is telling us where we're going. The South Node is telling us where we've been. The South Node at the moment, this is what we're draining, what we're examining of sort of the final throes of something. That is in Virgo. So Virgo is the part of the sky that has to do with service. This man, by any trustworthy measure, is the perfect servant. So our old stuff and very old definition of servant works around a very old idea of racism, tropes of subservience. Right? So this man is living up to his duty as a father and as an African-American role model and is punished for it while Mars rethinks how it's going to war and what it's going to cause. And Neptune asks what's true. You see? Okay, number 3, Musk and his chainsaw and the government. So, the most wealthy man on the planet is systematically taking a chainsaw to our government, is by many accounts breaking into the databases of our government in order to use those databases and the information therein about each and every one of us for his own purposes. An important fact here is that AI doesn't work. AI doesn't expand. It doesn't keep getting bigger and better and faster and more amazing and more powerful and more informative if it doesn't have new information. Well, all the information has been consumed by all the AI already. And the biggest vat of information we're left to exploit is in the hands of the American government. And so Elon Musk wants it. He wants to win at anything. He wants to win at AI. And the best way to win at AI is to have all of our information. And so he's in there getting it. And in the meantime, destroying institutions, destroying lives, destroying programs that he never needed or understood. He's doing all of this in an incredibly callous way, right? So what is also true is that Uranus is in the part of the sky. Uranus, I should say, is the planet of chaos. This summer, interesting fact, fun fact, this summer when Mars, the god of war, and Uranus, the god of chaos, were intersected in the sky, Donald Trump was shot. Right, so chaos plus war, these are big things that are happening, these placements that are happening. There's many more reasons why the placements end up being so powerful, but that's part of this Uranus story of this time. So Uranus, the planet of chaos, is in the part of the sky that is Taurus. Taurus is stability, institution, solidity, solidarity. Uranus is in chaos, So shit like this was going to happen while the chaos planet tore through Taurus. It was retrograde for a while. It just went direct and started moving forward again, meaning action, moving into its favorite modality, the end of January. The second factor to look at with Musk is the fact that Pluto, the god of the collective, of the underworld, of transformation, of evolution, of shadow, entered Aquarius, which is the part of the sky that affects the people rising up and technology, among many other things. So you've got the Uranus chaos thing going, while you've got Pluto in Aquarius. So chaos messing with stability, transformation messing with technology. You've got homeland stuff from Mars in retrograde in Cancer. The homeland is under attack. And then, of course, the service of all these government employees being undone as the South Node moves through. See how these things all come together. Fourth, we've got the Pope. The Pope, the leader of the Catholic religion, one of the major and certainly most powerful and certainly wealthier religions in the world, is at death's door, is at the gate. So he sits at the gate while the North Node is in Pisces. Pisces also represents spirituality. So this is a transition heading towards the future through that North Node. Saturn, which represents gravity, stability, authority figures, substance, endings, constraint, blockages, is also in Pisces, this place of spiritual beings. So as Neptune and the truths that Neptune is revealing become exposed while it conjuncts with the North Node in Pisces. Saturn is also very nearby, representing authority figures, representing constraint, representing blockages. You see? So the undoing of these larger institutions, the undoing of the way it's been, is part of what we're seeing. I want to leave you each time we talk with a poem. And today, this brings us to a poem of the day written by William Butler Yeats that I was taught at the knee of my Irish father. This is his meditation on threat and wonder as he stares into the ashes and the dawn of the end of the First World War. Turning and turning in the widening gar, the falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are those words out when a vast image of spiritus mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere in sands of the desert, a shape with lion body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless at the sun, is moving its slow thighs, while all about it, real shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem to be born? We are the beast, y'all. We slouch towards Bethlehem. We become what we shall be. Mars has station direct. It is time to collect ourselves and to know what it is that we want to do to move this nation towards a place where it might be something once again and forever that uplifts humanity. We can leverage the power of the planets in order to be able to do that. We can leverage our own innate wisdom, our own truth finding, our own community, our own connectivity with each other in conversation. We can become what we must to play a key role in America becoming what it ought to be, this thing that can uplift humanity and protect the sanctity and the prosperity of each of her people, no matter where they were born, no matter what they do, no matter what they believe. May they all find home. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here.